Alright, today I'm going to show you how to configure your Alt keyboard from Massdrop, in which a lot of this is going to apply to the Control keyboard as well, since they're so similar and they actually use the same firmware flasher. So to get started, there's a link down in the bottom to go to this GitHub that has MD Loader, and this is pretty much the firmware flasher. There's two things that you're going to want to download, and I'm on Windows, so we want MD Loader, Windows EXE, and this applet flash. There's also instructions for Linux and Mac right here, but let's go ahead and download these. The applet flash and MD Loader Windows. And both of those are now in my downloads folder. So the easiest way to create a firmware is to go to this next link. Once again, both links down in the description below. Massdrop has a configurator tool for these keyboards. So choose my keyboard, I'm on an Alt, here we go, we got layers. 2 layers for keys. The TRNS stands for transparent, and that just means that on that function, so layer 1 is when I hold my function key down. TRNS just means it's the exact same as it was previously. But I'm going to customize these because I like my period and comma keys to be media keys, so this one is going to be media next track, and this one is going to be previous track. Let's also my computer and a calculator because I often use a calculator. So I just set some custom keys for previous track and next track, instantly open my computer and calculator by hitting this function and these keys. So that's it for the key maps, pretty simple. LEDs. Now, this bottom board is like the outside strip of LEDs, and the top is the keyboard. So to set just a few, you can select multiple by holding down Shift, and we're going to select the outside ring. We're going to give the outside ring some color. Now these outsides are all 0, which means they're always going to be rainbow scrolling. Now let's go ahead and give a color to all our inner keys. Let's make this a light blue. I didn't need to do my WASD because I'm gonna light blue. Save. Alright, now WASD should always be a different color because I like playing video games. Let's go with a lighter pink or red. There we go. To give it some contrast and just to show you an example, let's do these pink. We'll do these blue. Do rainbow scrolling again on all the outside. Alright, so we have some LED colors, which you can also, when you hold down function key, you can set a second set of LEDs to highlight those keys that we attached functions to. So we have a map, we have some LEDs all set up. Let's compile and download. And this builds your firmware, gives you a binary to flash, and then we're going to go from there. We can also save as a new copy. Let's give it a name. Testes, because we are testing it, right? Alright. So here is that binary file I got. And since my downloads is actually on my D drive, we're going to create a folder on the desktop. And we're going to call this folder Massdrop ALT. Alright, in this Massdrop ALT folder, let's take the 3 things from our downloads, put them there. Let's get rid of downloads now. Alright, next is, I like PowerShell. You can use CMD as well, but PowerShell's makes more sense to me a little bit. So we're going to CD for change directory into desktop Massdrop ALT. And if we ls, we see there's those 3 files that we set. what we're going to type to now flash that file that we just downloaded from the configurator is ./mdloader to just run from this current direction first, and that's going to give us a 60-second waiting period so that after we hit enter on this command, we can then hit the command to go into bootloader mode. And then download. Now we're going to name the file. So Massdrop ALT config and restart. And that's going to restart once the firmware is flashed. Now here's the key to not needing the button on the bottom of the keyboard. Hold down Function B for about 4 or 5 seconds, then release, and that's all we're going to need to do. So when we hit this, we're going to see some dots scroll across the screen. Function B, let go, and then once you let go, it goes to sleep. Firmware starts doing its thing with the computer beeping and everywhere, and there we go. So the firmware is all flashed, looking good, blue and pink on front, rainbows on the outsides. That was a simple tutorial on how to flash firmware on a Massdrop ALT or Control keyboard. Alright, well thanks for joining me. Please remember to subscribe, hit like if this video helped you out at all, and stay tuned for more content about good keyboards and funny art, because I also like to make art on my computer.